He asked the question, why is homosexual sex wrong? First of all, he quotes Plato, that he kind of states that Plato sets precedents that shows that homosexuality is in fact wrong. And also, his second major argument is no greater good is derived, and also it is only pleasure-based. That's his major point. What other factors must be there to make sex morally permissible? Take this?
Marriage, procreation, and friendship. Argues that his argument lies in the history of ancient philosophers.
Excellent. What was that again?
Marriage, procreation, and friendship. So it teaches. And he argues that he supports his argument by stating that it all lies in the history of, or from other philosophers. He takes his stance.
Awesome. Moving on to Nussbaum.
I can't write straight, sorry.
Yes.
Oh. I didn't see that.
It was a good joke.
Nussbaum argues against Venice in a couple points, most of which those points include that Plato actually historically performed much homosexualness.
All right.
He celebrated it.
Okay, so Finnis refers, so basically, that he's, oh, not Finnis, that I'm regarding her argument towards Finnis, and I'm saying that she's basically stating that he's wrong about what he stated, supporting you.
Completely do it. I'm down.
Okay, and homosexual is always about pleasure. Assumes traditional marriage is ideal, which is untrue, and the factors are misleading. So, child rearing, let me see how I can put this in terms. Sorry. So.
Give her time to write anyway.
Well, there's basically, there's like no guarantee that a child raised by homosexual parents is going to come out rotten, as he so put it. And 3 is that same-sex relationships can promote a positive community.
And these are the moral arguments for same-sex relationships?
Well, arguments against it for this, because he's saying
Because
that
that's his
nothing,
assumption.
he's assuming that nothing, what's the word that he used? It's not there. That nothing good comes out, there's nothing contributing coming out of these relationships, they're just strictly for pleasure. There's no, like, it's not for procreation, it's not for marriage, it's not for friendship, it's just strictly that. And she's saying, no, it's not what it is. And good things can come from it. Homosexuals can promote a better community, more positive community, among other things that are not on the list.
All right.
All right, moving down to same-sex marriage, Loving versus Virginia, which was what we read on the board, that was projected on the board, you'll remember, and what it was about.
No, the guy can you move it aside so I can. Like one with the
What it was
glasses.
about was there was a case of infidelity, and it was a mixed race case of infidelity, and the Supreme, their courts ruled, and the Supreme Court as well ruled, that that it was a felony. The big precedence here is that in Alabama, the state that this took place in the 70s, I do believe.
You said it was a felony?
It was ruled to be a felony. The big thing here is that normal infidelity, non-intermixed racing infidelity, is a misdemeanor in Alabama. But for the Supreme Court, if you do it with a mixed race, it's just a felony.
That's not actually voting with the
Am I messing it up? That's entirely false.
I think you're thinking of a different case. The Loving versus Virginia case was where the Supreme Court found that any law prohibiting interracial marriage was unconstitutional because the 14th Amendment gives everyone the right to marry who they want as an essential liberty you have to have in order to be a free person. I think you're thinking of the Texas case.
What was that? Any law preventing?
So the Supreme Court found that, and this deals with interracial marriage, not same-sex marriage, but it's relevant to the discussion. The Supreme Court of Loving versus Virginia overturned the Virginia law, making interracial marriage illegal by arguing that the right to marry who you want is a fundamental right that you have to have in order to be a free individual, that that's protected by the 14th Amendment. Now, the Supreme Court said the right to marry whoever you want, and they included race as one of those things, but they never mentioned anything about sexual orientation in that case. So, advocates of same-sex marriage have argued that that provides a legal precedent saying that the right to marry who you want is guaranteed by the Constitution, but it was a case dealing with interracial marriage and not dealing with same-sex. So it's relevant to the discussion, but it doesn't explicitly make mention of same-sex relationships at all. But it was a case from the 60s, so that wasn't particularly a political issue.
Can you just repeat it one more time? It was that the Supreme Court overturned Virginia law
And found that the 14th Amendment guaranteed the right to marry who you wanted because it was necessary to really be a free individual that would be able to choose who one wanted to be.
Excellent. Last one, in remarriage cases. I don't know. Awesome.
This is the California case.
Copy.
That basically was what Prop 8 overturned.
Sorry.
Knock it out.
wait a second.
This Prop 8, so,
Prop 8 overturned this case.
right, okay, oh my notes are so scattered. Equal protection clause. Sorry.
Good.
I think they overturned it using the equal protection clause. Doesn't that go under? I'm sorry.
So yeah, in the remarriage case is basically it's a California case, and the California Constitution has something very similar to the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. And what they found in the intermarriage cases was that the right to have a safe and protected and secure family is necessary for being a free person, and then marriage is simply part of that. So the argument wasn't so much that everyone has the argument was that everyone has the right to marry who they want, but the justification was that everyone has the right to be part of a secure family, and marriage goes along with that. So it gave same-sex couples the right to marry, but the basic grounding was in their right to have and choose to have a family, basically. And then Prop 8 overturned that by changing the California Constitution and